Maybe.
Hopefully they hear that.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fowl Territory 315. I am your cordial host, Gizzard Gary, and it is Monday, June the 16th. So, welcome, one and all, to the really big show. All right. So, let's see who we have out there this evening. We have Bamadad, first one in. TJ Persicity is out there. Gunpowder Beauty is with us. Dale Pogue is in the audience, as is Jacob S. Mr. Bob Dobalina. Alaska One Andy is out there. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy is in the audience. And scrolling down, I see C4 Defense out there and in here. Unloaded Media out there and in here. Jacob S. says, great to see everyone here. Guns and Barbecue says, I'm here. Abby Finnegan is in the audience. And Weston is out there. Let's say hello to Hasbro. If I could click on it. There we go. Hasbro's out there. And Artak and Daughters. All right. So got 17 people already in the audience. And they're wanting to know, what about your esteemed panel? Are they here? They are here. Or at least some of them are here anyway. So let's say hello to my panel this evening. Of course, my co-host with the co-most coming to us from the state of North Carolina. He, of course, is sunshine that brightens our day. He is the oracle of knowledge, a voice of reason, and the man of orange. I'll bet you didn't think I still remembered all that crap after all this time. But he is Obnoxious One.
Yo.
Glad to have you aboard, sir. Working our way down to the bottom of the screen, the host of the This Week Unloaded on the Unloaded Media channel comes to us from somewhere in a valley, not high on a mountaintop, but somewhere in a valley in West Virginia. Let's say hello to Rich White. Or not.
Oh, hello. Didn't realize I was muted.
All right. Thanks for being here, buddy. Last but not least, so far, also from the state of North Carolina, our man in law enforcement, your friend and mine, Sarge at C4 Defense. Hello, Sarge. Okay, he shall remain silent. All right. So, anyway, what's going on, everybody? Are we having a good week so far? It's Monday. Wonderful week. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Real talkative group too. We got TJ Fishing out there all the way from down under. People come all the way from halfway across the globe to watch this show. We got to entertain these people, don't you think?
He's lucky it's not Monday there.
What, is it Tuesday already or what?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Gerald Muir is also out there. We're up to 20.
It's about lunchtime where he is over there in Australia.
You going to have him a Vegemite sandwich or what?
I don't know. Ask him.
Uh-oh, we lost Sarge. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get some people back. Got a story I want to talk about a little bit today. We'll see if we can get some discussion going on this. So let me put it on the screen. And we're going to talk about this article from bearingarms.com by Cam Edwards. Sarge is having storm and power issues. Okay.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, somebody just came back. Hold on. Let me get back to my screen. Sarge is returned. Okay.
Yeah, but there's some storms and my internet's flickering every so often, so hopefully they've blown through.
I hope so. Gunpowder says it's a great freaking day. I have 2 or 3 kids already asleep, and Fuku YT has joined us. All right. So anyway, this article that we're looking at, once again from Bearing Arms, Cam Edwards, DOJ says Illinois gun and magazine ban violates the Second Amendment. Imagine somebody violating the Second Amendment in Illinois. Okay. And it says the Trump administration has taken another historic step in defense of the right to keep and bear arms by declaring in an amicus brief that Illinois' bans on commonly owned semi-automatic firearms and ammunition magazines that can hold more than 10 rounds violate the protections of the Second Amendment. Bama Dad says if it weren't for that Man at Work song, I would have never heard of Vegemite. From what I hear, it's pretty nasty stuff. I believe I have heard that. Going on, the brief filed Friday with the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals marks the first time that the DOJ has formally opposed a ban on so-called assault weapons and comes as part of President Donald Trump's executive order directing all federal agencies to take the appropriate steps to safeguard the right to keep and bear arms. In the brief, the DOJ argues there are 3 very good reasons why the appellate court should reverse course and affirm the district court's permanent injunction, despite overturning U.S. District Judge Stephen McGlynn's earlier decision granting a preliminary injunction against the gun and magazine ban. The DOJ brief declares that the 7th Circuit simply got it wrong in a previous case dealing with an assault weapons ban called Beavis versus Naperville, in which the court declared that AR-15s and other semi-automatic long guns are militaristic firearms that fall beyond the scope of the Second Amendment's protection. Wow. And quoting here, this position fails as a matter of text, history, and precedent. The Second Amendment's prefatory clause, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, certainly does not limit the scope of its operative clause, as the Supreme Court made clear in Heller. But the Supreme Court was just as clear that the prefatory clause's text nevertheless announces one of the Second Amendment's purposes, and logic demands that there be a link between the stated purpose and the command. This Second Amendment's militia-related text, as interpreted by the Supreme Court, thus suggests that the government may not prohibit weapons simply because it considers them militaristic. The contrary claim that militaristic weapons fall outside its scope wrongly requires reading the prefatory clause entirely out of the Second Amendment. And even the Miller case from the 1930s held that only those arms best suited to a militia are protected under the Second Amendment, which the 7th Circuit and other appellate courts appear to have simply ignored in order to uphold bans on AR-15s and the like. But this isn't the only argument the DOJ deploys against the Illinois ban. Again, quoting here, multiple Supreme Court justices, including Bruin's author, have since made it clear that they disagree with Beavis and other recent lower court opinions, and that the court is likely to grant certiorari in the next term or two, that's hard to say, to address the errors in these opinions. Third, after the court's decision in Beavis, the district court held a multi-day bench trial, heard significant evidence regarding the issues in the case, and made factual findings that show that the act violates the Second Amendment as applied to semi-automatic firearms and attachments that are in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful reasons. As the DOJ correctly points out, the Supreme Court said in Heller and reiterated in Saitano that arms cannot be banned unless they are both dangerous and unusual. The AR-15 and other arms banned by the Protect Illinois Community Act aren't uniquely dangerous, and they're certainly not unusual, given that we're talking about the most popular rifle in the country. The common sense conclusion that the most popular civilian rifle in America is in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful reasons is buttressed by the factual findings in this case. After conducting a multi-day bench trial, the district court found that AR-15s and certain other firearms banned by the act are in common use by law-abiding citizens for lawful purposes, including self-defense. Among other specific factual findings, the court found that uses of AR-15s for unlawful purposes, such as mass shootings, albeit reprehensible and tragic when they occur, are clearly outliers and are exceptions, not the rule. These fact-laden determinations certainly were not clearly erroneous, and the court is not free to overturn them. AR-15s also are not dangerous, at least as that term is used in Second Amendment case law. Of course, all firearms are dangerous in some sense, but to be dangerous in a relevant sense, a firearm must be especially dangerous or uniquely dangerous. AR-15s are not especially or uniquely dangerous as compared to other firearms, semi-automatic handguns, that are in common use. AR-15s are semi-automatic, but so too are most handguns, quoting Justice Kavanaugh in his statement on Snope. Criminals use both AR-15s and handguns in unlawful ways that threaten public safety. But handguns can be more easily carried and concealed than rifles, and handguns, not rifles, are used in the vast majority of murders and other violent crimes that individuals commit with guns in America. In sum, there is no meaningful distinction between semi-automatic handguns and semi-automatic rifles, and it would thus strain logic and common sense to conclude that the Second Amendment protects semi-automatic handguns but does not protect semi-automatic rifles. The brief can be read in its entirety at the link on this article, and it's worth perusing the whole thing. It's great to see the Trump administration and the DOJ taking this proactive step to eradicate the semi-auto and magazine ban in Illinois. Even if the Second Circuit digs in its heels and continues to insist that banning the most popular rifle in the country doesn't infringe on our Second Amendment rights, the fact that DOJ has taken an interest in this case should be a point in favor of SCOTUS granting cert and finding for the plaintiffs when Barnett versus Raul eventually reaches its doorstep. Okay, so a lot to digest there, but I think we got the gist of the article. Any comments on that? Other than duh.
I have two things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether this is true or not, I don't know, but I heard a while ago, this was a while ago, that Palmetto State Armory, one of their goals was to essentially make AR-15s so cheap that they sold so many that they became common use to combat some of the anti-2A stuff. Now, I'm sure it was all monetary gain, but it's a novel way to put it. And I actually forgot my second point.
Alrighty. Well, if
It'll
you
come
think
back to me.
Yeah, if you think of it, just go ahead and let us know. Want to say hello to Surrender Park out there. Also, Ozzy Osborne is in the audience. Denny's Plant-Based Journey has joined us. And Misty, Mrs. Wayne, is out there.
Oh, that's what it was. You can't judge any group based on their outliers.
Well, that's right.
Any group.
That's 100% correct.
Because of however many legal gun owners there are in the U.S., you know, a very small percentage, and most of them illegal gun owners, commit the gun crimes. So the other 99.9% of us shouldn't be punished for what that 0.01% does.
You're absolutely right. Any other comments on this? And I do want to say hello to Hillbilly Up. Good evening.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing this evening?
We're doing good. We're just discussing the article in Bearing Arms about the DOJ that is working to overturn the Illinois ban on magazines and semi-automatic firearms. So looks like the DOJ is actually going to start taking some action like they were asked to.
Good. One person on the chat has actually lived through that. What's his opinion?
I know.
Sorry I'm late, buddy.
I don't think he's going to say.
Or if his internet's acting up.
It may be.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Obi since he's actually from Illinois. But
yeah.
He may be having some issues. Let's look at some of the comments out here while we're waiting. Ozzy says, this is a case that I believe the Supreme Court is waiting on, and it very well may be, because it's a good, solid case for sure. Hasbro says, but can you judge any of my groups by the flyers? That's true, too. Bama Dad says, SEC 11230, reduction of excise tax on firearm silencers. What in the world is this? 2 minus 20, $0 for each firearm transferred in the case of a silencer. We won the Congress. Hope we won the Senate. Oh, yeah. Sounds really good. Jacob S. says, Gary, I'm surprised you aren't watching the NBA Finals tonight. Indiana Pacers versus Oklahoma. Not an NBA fan.
That's probably what Snob's doing.
Probably. I mean, I could, but nah. I couldn't even tell you who plays on those teams. Honestly, couldn't.
I have no clue.
Anybody else out there in the audience have any comments about this? I think I would expect to see a collective hell yeah out there, but other than that, just wonder why it's taken so long to get to this point.
Well, I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but did you hear about the Short Act being added to the bill?
Added to what bill?
The big, beautiful bill that's got the Hearing Act in it also. Somebody in the Senate added it, so if it stays in there, goes back to the House, passes the House, then we'll be getting rid of the SBR rule and the suppressor rule and tax stamps.
Of course, that's a ways off in the future, probably.
Well, I mean, it's just got to go to the House, and if the House passes it, it goes to Trump. So,
well, it hasn't passed the Senate yet,
but it got added to it, so it's a good deal.
Yeah, but it hasn't passed. Is what I'm saying.
I understand that.
Well, it's still got to pass the Senate. It doesn't just go to that. It's got to pass the Senate first.
Is it on the floor? Or is it still in committee?
I don't really know, but I'm just glad to see it got added to it. So.
Now, Ozzy says, Obi bailed out of Illinois. Some of us are still fighting. That's true. That's absolutely true. Jacob S. says it still has a long ways to go for law stuff. Yeah, but on the subject that we were talking about earlier, I just hope that is something that the Supreme Court does give cert to. And I hope it goes well when it gets to the Supreme Court. That's kind of a crapshoot anymore, too. So we got somebody else coming in. And it is the moon is fake.
Oh, I still haven't changed my name, have I?
You have not.
The moon
I
is
have not.
fake. It's hollow.
No, it's a hollow
Made out of
gram.
blue cheese.
That's right. But no, I don't think it's a good thing that it got added, because even if it passes the Senate, then it's got to go back to the House. And that gives the House a chance to relook at this and go, did we really want to do that? It gives them a chance to pull it out. Gives them a chance to pull out the HPA. And then they can do that, send it back to the Senate, and it becomes a volley act.
Well, hello, Mr. Negative Nancy.
Right?
I was
already
saying,
negative.
she basically got on here to argue with me. I'm not arguing with you, bro. I said it. I was glad to see it on there.
Oh, it's awesome to see it, but say, don't tell me to kick the moon. Just say, you come in and saying your shit, I'm going to say my shit. Hell with it. Just say, I'm not saying it's not a good thing to see it on there, but the likelihood of it passing, pretty slim. Let's say the likelihood of the HPA passing in there and not being pulled out was pretty slim.
The Short Act didn't even make it out of the House.
Exactly.
What do you got against short people?
I don't know. Ask the House of Representatives. They're the ones
Yeah.
that voted against it.
Yeah, the House doesn't like short people. The House
Well,
always
as the
wins.
song goes, short people have no reason to live. So
That's 'cause
I'm
they
just
got no
sitting here
body.
saying I don't want to push my luck with it. Like if we could have got lucky and got the Hearing Protection Act and got suppressors at least, like that's something. And then we could have sat back and went, "Hey, look, you said the sky was going to fall and all this terrible stuff was going to happen when we got suppressors. It didn't happen, and we could have just kept chipping away after that." But this gives them an excuse to start volleying it, and we lose everything, and we get nowhere again, just like we did in 2018.
They do
So-
get greedy sometimes to try to take too much.
but is that what's happening here? Is it too much? I guess
Well-
that's kind of the point of contention here. Is it worth the risk to try to get what we want?
I don't say it's like, oh my goodness, we should not. It's our Constitution, right? We shouldn't ask for all that. That's just too much. Oh my goodness, bullshit. It's
Okay.
all right.
Real quick,
I'm so tired of the 2A always having to go on offense.
So
It's
you
like,
just-
oh, can we please
then
have this?
you better
Can we
be
What do you
used to it, buddy.
this?
What do you mean on offense? It'd be nice to be on offense.
Or I meant defense. Sorry about that. But yeah.
So you're all or nothing.
No, I didn't say that at all. I just said
Well,
like it's our rights,
Yeah,
and
you did.
it sucks if that we always have to fight for our right.
to party.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no magic wand. It's going to happen. We've let over 100, nearly 100 years infringements happen since the NFA. It's not just going to go away with one flick of a wand or anything like that. We're going to have to fight this fight for a very long time, and chipping away little steps at a time are the way to do it. Going, oh hey, we want this giant chunk all at once. It's not going to happen.
There's a reason why
It'd be
they had it
nice.
as 2 bills in the House to begin with.
Well, I mean, I might be totally wrong about this, but when both sides they try to get a bill passed, they'll say, okay, we want this, 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 and this. All right. And they're like, we're not going to give you all that. We're going to give you this and this. So why not ask for all that we can get? And then they might say, okay, we're not going to give you all that, but we're going to give you this and this. So what's
Because we already tried to get the Short Act. We already tried to get the Short Act in Congress, and it never made it out.
Oh, well, just screw the old 2A
Yeah.
thing. We're taking everything out.
Because we already tried to get it.
Yeah, the Short Act didn't even make it out of committee. The Hearing Protection Act did.
Yeah.
And made it out of the House. It was sitting in the Senate.
That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, I know
I'm
what
not-
you're saying.
No, I'm saying the
agreeing with
hillbilly.
you.
That's why I'm not optimistic about this, because even if it makes it out of Senate, now it goes to Congress and they get to go, wow, you put this in there. We didn't have it in there for a reason. Now we get to relook at everything and second guess what we were doing in the first place. And they could just pull the Short Act out again and then send it back to Senate, which then gives the Senate a chance to go, you know what? Did we really want to?
Don't it go from the Senate to the House and then to the president, or it goes back to the Senate?
That's
again?
if it gets passed.
Yeah.
Or Trump could just
well,
sign an
here's what
executive
happened.
order and let the courts deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
you,
also, like you said, the Hearing Act just barely got through. They didn't pass the Short Act. So now the Senate put it in there and it goes back, and they're like, or they're just going to say, well, maybe, there's possibilities of like, well, maybe everybody wants this, everybody excited about it. Or they're going to say, we're not going to pass Short Act, but we're going to pass the Hearing Act. Whereas, I mean, I'm
But
just
so if they
glad
do that, then it,
it's still in there.
So-
and
so again, if they do that, say this bill passes the Senate as is, so it goes back to the Congress, and Congress again
Yeah.
takes out the Short Act, and
You're saying
passes the
Congress
bill
has
that way.
Senate
Then it
and
has to again. Then it has to
Go
again
right
go
back
back
to the
to the
Senate again.
Senate.
yep.
every time it changes, it goes back to the other house after it passes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or goes to compromise committee. One or the other.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then once it goes to compromise committee, it's got to go back to both houses to be voted on again.
Yes, because it's essentially a new bill at that point.
Yep.
So it could definitely hold stuff up. So I guess the question is, do you want to try to pass a bill and try to sneak in the provisions of an unpopular bill in there for hopes it gets passed too and it may torpedo the whole thing? Or do you want to take the part that you can get and then come back later and try to get the rest of it? I mean, it's not that you don't want all this stuff. Of course we do. It's just kind of a strategy of how you get this stuff through Congress.
Yeah, and it's
But
not
see,
like we
I don't
haven't seen poison
understand them
pills.
adding the. They've already. You keep saying Congress, but House. The House has already put the Hearing Protection Act in there. So just because Senate is adding the Short Act, they've already passed the Hearing Protection Act. So
And if
they
they
put
put
the Act in
yes,
there-
the House passed the Hearing Protection Act, but the Senate took it instead of passing it individually and put it in another bill, which then has to go through the Senate and then go back to the House to be voted on. Essentially, the Senate, by putting that bill in another bill, canceled out it passing.
Oh,
in
they
the
didn't
House.
leave it where it's at. They didn't just add the Short Act on it.
No.
Well, that was
You-
stupid
you-
of them. Why would they
You
do
can't add something and say, "Well, you already passed this. Now we're adding this to it." It's not the way it works.
It doesn't work that way. No.
It removes the pass.
Or Trump
But
sent his,
anything they could add, like we think everybody gets $5, but
Okay.
yeah,
that changes it.
and
The
that changed
bill.
it.
And that
Then
kind
it
of
has
thing
to go
has
back.
killed bills before. It's called a poison pill.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that the Senate's at. It's not just the Short Act that that's not the only thing they're adding, correct?
I would assume, since it's part of the big beautiful bill, there's a
adding
lot
Just what
there.
we're talking about now.
Yeah, they're adding a lot of other stuff. So as long as they add one thing, it don't matter if they add 3 or 4.
I'm not
Correct.
sure you understand how this works.
I not completely understand how it works. So if the Senate just passed it and sent it back and didn't change anything, then it would have went straight to the president to be signed.
Well, the Hearing Protection Act, yeah,
But-
they would have just passed
But
it.
I'm talking
individually.
everything. The entire, it's one bill.
Well, no, because the other thing hasn't passed
It's
the
one
Senate
bill.
yet, or been in the House yet.
I'm pretty sure Rich is the subject matter expert on this. he studied it in college.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's passed. If they change the bill, then it's got to go back.
Yes.
Yeah, but it don't matter of fact if it's a Short Act or if it's say,
That's
a
okay.
tall
Hillbilly,
act
let me
or
say
something
this
else.
again. You take two bills, okay? You put them together. It's no longer the original bill. It is now a completely new bill. So if the House passes two individual bills, okay, they go to the Senate. The Senate decides to combine those together. That's a new bill that gets passed by the Senate and has to go back to the House for the House to pass it again.
Okay, but what
The
I'm
House
saying
having passed those two individual
the
bills
one bill
individually
that-
doesn't matter at that point.
you're not listening. The
No,
House
you're
passed-
not listening.
The House passed a bill.
You're the one who isn't listening.
It has all this stuff in it. all
No,
right?
the House doesn't pass shit except for the Hearing Protection Act. Listen instead of talking.
So there's only one bill.
Christ.
The big beautiful bill only has
The big
Hearing
beautiful
Protection
bill
Act.
is in the Senate. It has never been in the House. Do you comprehend what I'm saying now?
No, because you're
You,
not.
you
making
obviously
any
don't.
sense. They're changing other stuff, not just that. The big
Jesus
beautiful
fucking
bill
Christ.
is one bill, right? And they have a bunch of stuff
Are
in
you
there.
intentionally this obtuse?
Well, the more you yell, the more it convinces me. If you can yell a little bit louder, you might change my mind.
If I yell a little bit louder, it might stick between your fucking ears.
No, because you're yelling so loud, it just breaks up and we can't understand.
Oh
what
my
you're saying.
God. Does anybody have a whiteboard so I can diagram this? Seriously.
That's racist. You can't have whiteboards in it.
That's right.
Oh my God.
It has to be a rainbow.
You know,
board.
all of this, including the strife between rich and hillbilly, would be completely fixed if Trump, since he's in his second term, would just sign an executive order. Then it goes to the courts and
Yeah.
it gets taken care of.
I agree with that. And you didn't even yell, Obi.
But the problem is that Republicans have no fucking balls. The Democrats will absolutely go to the floor for the craziest shit. And they will fight for it and fight for it. And they'll fight for it all together. The Republicans won't do that. Half the country hates you already. Just do it. Just do it when you have half the country already hates you. Half the country hates Trump for no reason other than their masters told them to hate him. Just pass the shit. Shove it down their throats like they've been doing. And if you can't do that, then we need to primary all of these fucking idiots, get them out, and start doing it all over again. Because the Democrats have it figured out.
All righty.
Let them moan. They hate him already. Sign an executive order, disband the ATF, get rid of the SBRs and the NFA, and let the court do it.
Well, they should.
Mhm.
Mystic Guns is in the audience. Wow.
It
Well,
would literally
well,
take
well.
me about half an hour of being president, and I'd be done. Completely done.
Obi for
It'd
president.
take you a while to write up all those orders. You couldn't write them all up in 30 minutes.
Well, that's what auto pens are for.
Mm-hmm. I got people write them up.
Just
Took me
use AI.
half an hour. You've seen me sign stuff. It doesn't take me that long to sign anything.
Just
Well, you
put
gotta
an
write
X
it up.
on there. Yeah.
Well, like Barbecue said, AI writes it up and then auto pen signs it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Abigail's got a point. She says, "Yep, let's trade the current puppets for new puppets." Every politician is
Just you know what? You keep primarying people. Give it a couple turnovers, and people will realize that, oh shit, we need to get back to fighting for the people that are voting for us instead of. And again, I think we should get term limits in there anyway, because this was never designed to be a career.
So now,
Or we can just keep going down this road and eventually get to 2.0.
Yes, 2.0.
Speaking of 2.0, we have 2 Sarges in here, so that's 2 for the price of 1.
Jesus.
I'm the one at the bottom. I see my little icon light up.
Yep.
Excuse me, Sarge, I'd like to speak to your supervisor.
No, you won't.
When I request a supervisor, your policy says that you have to get a supervisor. A sovereign citizen.
Oh,
I know.
those are fun.
God.
Sovereign citizens are the I'm not touching you of the adult world.
No,
Mm.
no.
touching you.
Those
I'm not
are the
touching you.
First
I'm not
Amendment
touching you. I'm not
auditors.
touching you.
The First Amendment auditors are the I'm not touching you.
I'm not
Not
driving.
touching
I'm not driving. I'm engaged in commerce.
No. It's they're not engaged in commerce. That's why they think they don't need a driver's license.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm traveling. Well, hand me your traveler's license or step out. That's when you introduce them to Pennsylvania v. Mims. When they say, I don't have to get out of the car.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You don't have to get yourself out. We'll do it for you.
Yeah, well, we can assist.
Yep.
Yes, we can break your window. It's easy. Now, Abigail says,
passage-
"Oh, go ahead."
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Abby says having to renew your driver's license is a scam.
Until you're blind and you can't pass the test.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that-
true.
I mean, I wouldn't want Barbecue to just go and renew his driver's license.
Right.
I mean,
That's a valid point.
Mhm.
Took the state a year to come get mine. I mean, luckily I just stopped driving as soon as I realized I probably could have kept driving longer in a fairly safe manner, but I was like, because when I realized I can't see the road when it's dark, I was like, I just shouldn't be driving, period. And I stopped driving. And it took the state a year after I had done that to actually come get my license. I had 2 state police officers show up at my door the weekend of turn that off.
why do they feel like they need to?
The weekend of 4th of July, and they're like, "We need your ID." I was like, "Not gonna happen." And I was like, before you say anything else, let me tell you why. I was like, 4th of July is this weekend, and if I just happen to be with anybody and we go through a DUI checkpoint or anything, and you ask me for ID, I was like, I'm not going to be able to provide it. And they're like, that's actually a pretty good point. I was like, after the holiday, I'd be more than happy to surrender to you folks. I was like, but before that, not going to happen. I was like, plus, I need time to be able to get to the DMV to get a new one. I was like, and not having my current ID with me to do so would make that really difficult. They're like, great points.
Go get an ID without an ID. See how that works.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they were really cool about it. They're like, the state sent you a couple letters. I was like, I swear it to you, I've gotten nothing. I was like, if I
can't read
have,
them.
what's that?
Say, I can't read them, dickhead.
Say,
Right.
I didn't see them.
So they were like, yeah, just bring it to the barracks after you,
Say, so you're telling me that the state sent myself, a blind gentleman, a letter.
Yep.
Mhm.
What am I supposed to do with this?
It's amazing. My disability insurance company does it like once a year probably, and then I've got to find somebody to read it to me or something, or I'll call them and be like, what's this say? They're like, well, you can't read it. I'm like, are you serious? Do you guys not realize why you send me a check every month?
Look at my disability, please, and
Like,
then tell me. Oh, he's
yeah,
blind.
it's absolutely
Do they
bonkers.
speak up then when they tell you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not deaf. Well, actually, apparently, I kind of am. That's no fun.
All right.
It's like when people speak another language, they just think they need to yell louder.
Yeah, just say it louder.
Louder and slower. Yeah. Bama Dad says, I think it would be fair to make everyone renewing prove they can turn the steering wheel lock to lock on a non-power steering automobile and read a traffic sign from 50 yards away. Wow.
Oh.
Good luck finding a non-power steering automobile.
Mhm.
He says, that would get some blind blue hairs off the interstate.
So what an artist.
I want to drive a little bit longer. Come on,
and
man.
sometimes the state doesn't even take care of it. I remember my mom had to take my grandmother's driver's license away from her in her keys.
Well, they gotta.
I had to
they
do
have
it
to
on my
find
mother.
out, yeah. I guess their doctor. I mean, if somebody diagnosed them with something, the doctor has to send in the request for medical cancellation. It's not like they just magically know.
Mhm.
Well, I think that's what ultimately got the state to finally come get mine. But I mean, even still, I think that process was started like a year before.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't clear to go back to work, and I had short-term and long-term disability insurance through work. And the short-term disability insurance, they're like, hey, you need to apply for Social Security disability, or else you're not going to be able to get the long-term disability. I'm like, oh, okay. So you had to start that whole process so I could, get the long-term disability insurance that I was paying for. Which then once you start that disability process with the feds, that's when I think they finally went and start, the stuff that's like, oh yeah, this guy shouldn't be driving.
Well, that or you'd have to go to drive for somebody like Swift. You could probably drive for them. Be all
Oh hell, I could have still been. I could probably still be a trainer for them. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'd probably be a damn good trainer for them.
Yeah, you speak multiple languages because
I probably know enough Spanish to get by.
how about Arabic?
Oh God.
I'll say, I'll just turn on a Rich White show. They'll be impressed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
They'll be
sure
like,
they
fuck that motherfucker.
Easy.
Wow.
I'm
this
just
is-
impersonating what their reaction would be to Unloaded Media.
Yeah, probably.
I was going to say, I think our PG rating just went out the window, but
Oh, I
in
thought it went out the
retrospect,
window
that
a while
happened
ago.
long
Yeah,
time
Yeah.
ago.
I think it went out a while
That
ago.
happened a little bit ago.
I think it did. We're
Rich
not in
threw it
any
out the
danger.
window. Rich showed at the door.
Not in any danger. The one thing you are safe with is gear websites because they're your source for every second matters, gun channels, gear, ammo ID, and more.
You sure you're safe with them?
You should be safe with them. Why
Mm.
they have patches, stickers, and other items,
I
all
think
pretty
they've
much
touched people
certified to be
inappropriately.
safe. I do know that every Friday is Free Patch Friday when you buy cool stuff at gearwebsites.com.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
That's gearwebsites.com. Go to them for all of your Second Amendment needs. So, what is going on here? Let's see. Abby says, I'll get a mirror so I can watch every dirty word leave my lips. There you go. Bama Dad says, Swift meats. Truckers used to say, you may beat our prices, but you'll never beat our meat. Wow. Denny says, around here it's Russians and Cubans. Vulcan Rumble wants to know, do you think there's a market for Brunelli Shockwave?
I don't know how well is the Mossberg semi-auto shockwave thing selling. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to the sales numbers on it. I would look at that as a judge.
Do you want a shockwave or a judge?
No, the judge whether it would be there's a market for it.
Oh, so you're going to use that as a benchmark.
Exactly.
Okay. Not a benchmade benchmark.
No, not a benchmade.
Benchmade would be something else entirely.
Yeah, that would be a totally different thing.
Smoking Joe's out there. Agorizer says, my angina cleared up after buying gear from G-Webs. Wow. Now
I'm glad your angina's doing all right. Hope it didn't get any kind of infection.
I certainly hope not.
Oh, there's no sand in it.
Well, you don't want sand in there, that's for sure.
You're not
seeing
in my angina.
Bama Dad says that's one letter away from making you a transvestite. Wow. This chat has totally went off the rails. I tell you, more so than most. And there's only one thing that can bring it back.
We get Hillbilly and Rich screaming at each other again.
Well, we can do that after the break.
Okay.
Because I want to calm everybody down with a little bit of reptilian action here.
Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you. Large prostate won't slow him down, chasing grandmas all over town. Got a sidekick named George the Cat. Lizard Larry's got something for you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you, Lizard Larry. Gonna give it to you.
All right. Well, I guess I better turn my camera on because it's time for the Fowl Territory prize giveaway. And got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to give away tonight. So if you want to win, you've got to put this hashtag in, #FT315 for your chance to win. We've got 18 entries in the giveaway so far. And there's 31 people watching, but there's a little bit of time because I've got to show everybody what you can win. So let me make myself full screen here for a moment and get out my bag of tricks here. All right. So we're going to start off with the lovely Gizzard Gary channel logo sticker, which is nearly as big as my head. Not exactly, but almost. We have the Fowl Territory thumbnail sticker. And we've got a company that has the fastest sites in any light, excesssites.com. Also, Live Free Armory, True American Manufacturing. Speaking of true Americans, we have, courtesy of DM Foss, the Haterade Thirst Destroyer. You know it's good because it's got Obi's likeness right on the label. I don't know if that's an endorsement or not. But Michael Dunn's out there. Lakeview Outdoors is also here. We have the Armed Papa Smurf. Also from DM Foss. And we have the Hell No Kitty sticker. It's always fun to put that on your car or something like that. We have this sticker from TechDum. It says, shall not be infringed. Very nice, very nice. And we have this from OsageCountyGuns.com. A little sticker from Stroop Knives. And a sticker from Work Sharp. Don't just look sharp and feel sharp. Work sharp as well. Keep them knives. Speaking of knives, here's something you could sharpen right here. It's a wee knife sticker. Also have a sticker from a fellow YouTuber, Ron Wayne. And another sticker from another fellow YouTuber you may have heard of called Hillbilly Up. He's out there to make someone's day better.
I don't think he made Rich's day better.
Well, he can work on that later.
Or maybe he did, because Rich likes to argue. So
He does.
Yeah, I'm running for either Senate or House. I can't make up my mind yet.
just tell him you're running for Congress.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. All right. So we have patches.
You run for one, you run for the other.
That's right. We have a patch here from Palmetto State Armory. This is the 2024 NRA Dallas patch. And there aren't very many of those left, so you better get in while the getting's good. We have this patch from Gun Owners of America. It says Second Amendment Hunters. And courtesy of Stan at SS Pawn, we have the Dead Air Silencers patch. And last but not least, we have this patch. This is a rare one. It's from Night Vision.
It's rare to get one with just the regular night vision.
It is, but I have several of them. All right. So you're also going to get the official Gizzard Gary logo pin. It's got a little thing on the back of it. You can pin it to your jacket, your shirt, your hat, your cat. I'm not responsible.
Vestigial tail.
Not responsible for any damages to your cat or you when your cat attacks you if you do so. I'm going to give you not just one, but a full set of coasters. That's right, 7.
It has all the play settings.
That's the perfect amount. 7.
It's the perfect amount.
Don't ask me.
You know, Dad's likely to kick off before Mom does, so you really only need 7.
That's true. But everybody needs coasters. Courtesy of EAA. Plus, the winner of tonight's giveaway will receive from my sponsor, Aegis Gun Care.
You got a sponsor? How many days sober?
A lot. But they are giving away the Aegis sample trifecta to tonight's winner. How about that? All right. So,
Our friend of Bill. Is that what it is? Friend of Bill?
Bill?
I don't know.
Bill Hill? No. Let's not get rich and hillbilly going on Bill's.
I mean, come on, we got to have some.
No.
Capitol Hill, anyway.
We got to have some alcoholics out there, isn't it? Friend of Bill, isn't that?
Billy Beer? I mean, what? Huh?
Anyway, the giveaway on the screen, we have 26 people entered, 37 watching, 32 on YouTube, 5 on X, and none on Facebook. So, it is time for my official contest judge, the lovely, obnoxious one, to give the command.
Do it now.
To draw.
Hold on. What is this? Fowl Territory, what? 315?
315.
Okay, do it now.
Boy, the 28th one just got in there. So who's tonight's winner going to be? It is Fuku YT. So Boomstick, are you out there in the chat?
I thought Fuku YT won it.
Fuku YT.
Yeah, who's this boomstick person?
Yeah, why are you asking for Boomstick if Fuku YT won it?
Oh, it's one of his many.
Sounds like you got some.
Ultra
Well, he has to answer as.
He's out there.
Okay, there you go.
He is out there. We have a winner. I do believe a first-time winner. So
Boomstick didn't pass the Senate, so he had to go back and change it.
that's probably why. He needs to go back to the house. Yeah. So congratulations to the winner of this week's Fowl Territory prize giveaway. Please email your real name and mailing address to me at winner@gizzardgary.com. That's WINNER@gizzardgary.com. And I will be sharing your address with the good folks at Aegis Gun Care. So they can send your stuff. Michael Dunn just said redraw. Well, you're not the right guy to tell me that, unfortunately. It doesn't
Nice
work
try.
there. Nice try, though. I do not believe you're the same person. All right. Well, congratulations.
Give him an E for effort.
Is it an E or an F for effort? We can give him an F for effort. E's not a grade. It skipped right over E. I don't know why they did that. Why is it you get A, B, C, D, and Fs? Whatever happened to E anyway?
Because E
Oh,
is
Pittsburgh,
for
it was E. Yeah, Pittsburgh, it won A, B, C, D, E. So, I don't know.
And then FG. I tried. Anyway. We go
If you got
on.
a G or an H, you were in trouble.
You got a beer? Okie dokie. Well, let's proceed with the show because we do have time left. And we got things to do because it is time, as they say, for your second favorite part of the show. If I had a MC on here, they could explain it to you, but I'll explain it to you. It's time for your second favorite part of the show. This is where we show.
coronary.
Pardon?
Massive coronary.
That's third most favorite. This is where you send your Gorn to gorn@gizzardgary.com, and I put your stuff on the screen if it's appropriate. And So if you want to, go ahead and send your stuff. We've already got some stuff in there. So the name of this segment is, if I can find the little tag, Show Us Your Gorn. All right. So let's see if we got some Gorn out there. I got some stuff that Defense Dad sent yesterday. I don't know. That's not entirely inappropriate, but it's not entirely appropriate either. So it's borderline. So we're going to go with it. And it says, we don't lick people. Lies adults tell kids. Wow. Okay. I'll allow it. But I'm not going to buy it. Michael Dunn says
a lesbian dinosaur joke.
Michael Dunn says, what's the first favorite part? Well, that's a good question. That's a legitimate question.
Boobs are the first favorite part.
I didn't know we were supposed to show boobs. I wouldn't have wore a shirt if we were doing that.
I said boobs, not moobs.
Oh, it's not the same thing?
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I got what I got. This is from Jacob. And Jacob says, saw a few cars at the cruise-in on Saturday. So he's got several pictures here. This is a first.
That one looks like it's offering free candy.
Yeah, is that Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke van? Looks like smoke coming out, but I think it's just the sun, ain't it?
Got a strobe
Taking the
sign
pictures
there.
directly into the sun.
Yeah,
Playboys on the floor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that van looks like it's offering free candy.
And a beanbag chair. Wow.
Oh.
Far out, man. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. There's a bunch. Okay, so picture number 2 of a series. If I can find it here. Looks like we got a Hummer. Emergency management. What does that say? EMA. Oh, okay. Is that the abbreviated FEMA, but it's EMA? Not to be confused with EMU or TMU. Okay, this one's probably a little bit more interesting to the classic car buffs out there. I know we have at least one on the panel.
Cobra replica.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And then we have this. It's a Willys. Straight out of the 60s. Okay, now this is the ultimate far out 60s car here. Hippie Mobile.
It's a people mover.
Cool. Where was this car show at? On the beach in California in 1970s?
The people's
Cool
car.
The Volkswagen.
Yep, the Nazi car.
Yeah. 100%. Okay. And then a second email with even more cars. And I think you guys will like this one.
Who you gonna call?
I like their effort, but that's like way The years on that one are way off.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Yeah. It's like a 1979 K car or something.
it's an old hearse.
I mean, I like their effort, but
Yeah.
the execution just wasn't there.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let's see if we can do better. This one's unique. This is the crazy bitch.
Oh, old Henry J.
Nice.
If I'm not mistaken, you could order those out of the Sears catalog when they were
Really?
new. Henry J.
Over the chassis headers. Man, sweet.
is that an ambidextrous car? It looks like
No. No, it's not an ambidextrous car. Those are different.
Oh, it looks like it's got that same front end as the.
Is it running on
ambidextrous car, though.
propane? Has that got a propane tank on the front of it?
Oh, that's a fuel tank.
That's a fuel tank.
On the front of it?
Yep.
There's no bumper there. I don't think you want to hit anybody with that thing.
They just went full Pinto on that thing, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had
I love
to,
how
had to be able to get the fuel to the engine
Yeah.
back then.
I love how the back of it kind of resembles a 57 Chevy in a small way.
Okay, and then there's this.
Just a mystery machine.
Wrong color.
That's the
Mhm.
newer one, I believe.
Oh, is that George? Is that they took some mid '80s car and made it into for the terrible Ghostbusters? Is that what happened?
So that's not a movie I need to watch.
No, not the all female one.
No,
That's why
that one was-
every review I ever saw said that movie sucked. So
it wasn't that good. That's for sure.
I'd rather watch Ghostbusters 2 than that Ghostbusters.
There was a Ghostbusters 2.
Yes, and it was not good. It was not good.
Seems like I probably
Which is
watched
why
it.
there was not a Ghostbusters 3.
Until there was.
That one's
What is
nice.
that, a Vega? No, it's a Nova. I'm sorry.
I think those were not big sellers in Mexico.
No.
Nice looking Nova.
It's a Nova. I said it wrong.
Is it a champagne supernova?
No, but it's about a 68.
All right.
Is that a Miata?
Is that a
Yeah,
Hyundai
that's
Scoop?
a Miata.
It's a first gen
Four person's porch.
with the pop-up headlights.
You sure that's not a Hyundai Scoop?
I don't know, but I wouldn't want to tangle with that gal over there behind that motorcycle.
Oh, I can promise you it's a first gen Miata.
Okay.
It's for sale.
It's for sale. You can own it.
You could own this vehicle.
Jacob said they were asking $10K for the Miata.
Was that all? Okay, so now some different stuff here from Jacob. And he says on this one, he said, had some major rain while I was at work, pulled these from our local news page.
Yeah, they had a little bit of rain.
A little bit. Oh, there's even more here. Yeah, shouldn't be driving through that stuff.
Yeah, you can still see the glass or the grass.
Turn around, don't drown. It's my public service announcement I have to do. So, okay, so let me see.
Is that what you told somebody when they were trying to make it home the other day because they just needed to be home? Turn around, don't drown.
I routed her around the trouble. Took me an hour, but I routed her around the trouble because they basically
just to stay home or to stay where you're at.
They didn't give them that option. And the road to town was blocked, so they told them what road to take. But my daughter doesn't know the back roads at all, and I ended up routing her 10 miles completely south and then looped her around to come in on the other highway that was fine, and she made it home. So anyway, I think that's it for corn tonight. I do not see anything else out there. So let's see. Abigail is asking, would 4150 CMV steel be good for a tubular frame? I have no idea. Bama Dad says, you know what Miata means in Spanish? Mistake. But in German, it means reward. I don't know if that's true or not. Jacob says, you're not going to show the last one. Did I miss one? I thought I got them all. Oh, there is one more. Okay, I did miss it. Okay.
Failing.
I thought I got them all. Jacob kept me honest. Yeah, that one you don't want to drive through. Somebody tried, though.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got a car wash for free. Okay, sorry about that, Jacob, but we got made up for it. So, Rich, you want to go at it with Hillbilly anymore before we get out of here? We got time.
No, I think I'm good. I mean, unless he's got something else. I mean, I don't know. You good, Hillbilly?
Got Guns and Barbecue back here. Now he's Guns and Barbecue.
Well, he
Yep.
changed.
He can't decide who he's going to be.
Well, he had to find a phone booth. And it's doubly hard because he's blind. You know, so.
Oh, Abby says, did you check Discord? Let's check Discord. Or Datcord.
What is that?
That's what.
Discord is my exclusive community for my fans. That, a dozen or so
I meant,
people.
what was it in general, not your little portion of it?
Well, there's a Gorn section where people can submit Gorn and stuff like that.
That's explaining what Discord is. Got it.
In this particular case, that's what she's referring to, yes. So, this is from Abby. And it says, got a bayonet, and if you zoom in, there's trench art on the stalk, the Romani Tree of Life, and my wife's name in Cyrillic. Let's see how much I can zoom in on it. Oh, I see the tree. You barely see it there on the edge. And I presume that's where the name is. It won't let me zoom in anymore on here. And I don't believe the game control is part of that. So yeah. There's that one. Ron 2A Matter says I had to drive through some of that on the way home. Okay, what time is it getting to be? It's getting to be about. She said it's a long rifle and I'm short. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Did we just get an email in? We did. Okay, so Jacob S. sent us a couple more pictures. Inside It's the inside of the couple of the cars here. So the first one is the inside of the green car.
She definitely sent some more pictures.
Okay. And then the next one is the inside of the Hummer. That's pretty cool. I've never seen the inside of one of those before. Got a lot of gadgets in there. And a combination lock down there. That's pretty cool. Not real sure what that's for, but
Theft control, maybe. I don't know.
nobody's going to steal that thing.
Inside them Hummers, they're not nothing fancy. For sure.
Nope.
Okay, let me take one last look. That's all I'm seeing out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. And unless something else comes in at the last minute, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen. And we are going to transition to our final segment. It's called What Did You Learn? And we're going to ask each of our panelists what they learned on tonight's show and then let them promote whatever they want to promote. Bama Dad said you would spend more money on the interior than you would the exterior. And Abby says the Humvee likes to rattle itself apart once you hit 50 miles an hour. And Jacob says, I don't have any more. All right, fair enough. So, Obi, what did you learn?
I learned you can't leave Hillbilly and Rich in the same room together.
That is true. All right. So, what kind of dazzling stuff do you have coming up on your channel?
But I got stuff I got to do.
Okay. Good stuff.
It'll show up. Yeah. It'll show up eventually.
All righty. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. Thanks for being here. Abby is getting a new handgun tomorrow. Well, new to me. Fair enough. Used is cool too. Rich White, what did you learn?
I don't know.
Really?
I think
You were so busy yelling and screaming you didn't learn anything?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
This is why you didn't finish your doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
What was it in? What were you majoring in?
My major was criminal justice. My minor was political science and American history.
Okay.
What have you got coming up on your channel?
What do I have coming up? Let's see.
Tell us.
Well, I will. It's a show called This Week Unloaded. It's on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Unloaded Media channel.
Has it passed the House?
I don't know. I don't know if last night's passes any test.
If you make changes on it, it's got to go to the Senate. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
Did it pass Congress?
Probably not last night.
All righty. Well, thank you for being here. Let's go to Hillbilly. What did you learn?
I learned that you got to be really careful when you try to spread happy 2A news or opportunity. So,
all right, fair enough. What have you got coming up on your channel? I know you got a lot of things going on.
oh yeah, we got Guns Bearing Therapy on Saturday night, 9:00 Central, and then of course I got videos coming out. We got video this week with the bolt action 350 Legend from Bear Creek Arsenal, and then I believe we got some more silencer videos coming out from Anechoic. So thanks for having me on, buddy.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, thank you for being here. That brings us to Sarge at C4 Defense. What did you learn, Sarge?
I learned that some people on the panel have vastly different opinions on how the legislative branch of government works.
Maybe we should have a whole show dedicated to that soon.
I will be there with bells on if it's anything like it was before.
Mm-hmm.
My sides actually hurt. I was laughing so hard.
It was entertaining. All right. Oh, what have you got coming up?
I got like OB. I got stuff. Maybe some things.
But can you have both?
Mm-hmm.
He can actually have both because I'm done with at least one of them.
Okay. Abigail says Beretta PX4 Storm Compact. Comes with 2 mags. I've already picked out stick-on grips and a holster for it. Very cool. All righty. Well, thank you, Sarge. Last but not least, Guns and Barbecue. What did you learn?
I learned that some people's favorite brand of chainsaw is an Echo.
Okie dokie. What have you got coming up? Any big live streams or anything like that? Or
no, I'm gonna try and do a test hit at some point this week. Probably be in the afternoon at some point. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I'm gonna try and record some stuff for the 2A's blind channel. I've got a selfie stick coming tomorrow in the mail with any luck. So we'll see what happens there. And that's all I've got. Thanks for the invite.
You bet. Thanks for being here. I happened to get a knife and 2 flashlights in today. 2 different flashlights from Woobin and a knife from CJRB. So I've got some videos I've got to do this next week. So that's what I got going on. What did I learn? Sometimes as a host, you just got to sit back and let it happen, because it's kind of like trying to break up 2 cats in a cat fight. You're just going to get scratched. And it's entertaining if nothing else. So anyway, thanks for being here. Of course, I have my members only chat for you channel members. Thanks to all of you. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. and you're going to win one of the knives that I've reviewed over the past year or so. So come in for that if you're interested in free stuff, because we always give away free stuff. I will be back next week with Fowl Territory 316, and that will be on Monday nights at 9 o'clock p.m. And I would like to thank you all for watching, whether you watched on YouTube, Facebook, or the X. Or if you watched a replay, thank you for doing that too. Or if you just happened to accidentally turn this on and thought, what the hell is this? If you're still watching to the end, God love you, man. But anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks to all my panelists. Thanks to everybody out there in the chat for contributing to the program. And a special thanks to all of my channel members out there on YouTube. You all are awesome, as always, for your support to the channel. I truly appreciate it. So, have a safe rest of the week. Have fun. Be kind to each other. Learn about a bill on Capitol Hill. And remember that if anyone tries to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, give them the bird. That's what we do around here. Anyway, panel, would you like to say?
Bill. Only a bill.
Go ahead and sing, Rich. Sing.
Why? I did enough of that yesterday.
I tell you, they don't follow commands at all. It's like herding cats. I tell you what. Would you guys like to say goodnight to everybody before I throw the switch?
Good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody, before I throw the switch.
Yeah, what they said.
It's time to throw the switch.